This is where we are, Mama. We're on the inside passage. This is the rear. I'm aft, so I'm at the stern of the ship. Huge. And all of that over there, that's all inside passage. Glacier Bay. We're coming into Glacier Bay.
So in these next few clips, you're going to see a lot of icebergs and a lot of very beautiful scenery. The wind is blowing pretty hard, so I'm just going to turn that down and you guys can enjoy the scenery. Welcome to Glacier Bay National Park. Okay, so what you guys are going to see in this clip is about how fast the ship is cruising. Now, these big ships, they don't go very fast. They're meant to cruise this slow. The Majestic Princess maxes out at 19 knots. So 19.4, I think is what I saw. So this is a pretty slow, beautiful clip. Just watch those mountains roll by. If you need some peace in your life, this will bring it to you. All right?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I'm getting too much from there. I like these guys. I like these guys. Louisa and I are sitting top deck or Lido deck, starboard side to get views of the mountains. We are near a windbreak, so we can see also what's going on the starboard side as well. But the cannon is pointed at the port side where most of the beauty is. Okay, so this is cruising at normal speed. Now the next clips are going to be sped up a little bit. So if you notice, we are not really moving right now. The captain has stalled the ship because he's getting ready to spin it. So you can see the glaciers from either side of the ship. He does a full 360 with this big old ship in the middle of Glacier Bay. It's pretty cool, but you can see how it's stalled. You can see that mountain hasn't moved. So pretty neat, I think. It takes a lot of finesse to maneuver one of these big guys. So you'll see more in the next clips. Okay, watch carefully at that mountain because you're going to see the ship start to spin towards starboard side. It's a very slow rotation, so everybody has an opportunity to get a good peek at the glaciers. But it's really cool that this ship can spin like this. And if you look at the stern and you look over the port side, you'll see the motors pushing the water out so it can spin. It's pretty neat. They also have motors on the starboard side that do the same thing. They're jets that blow water out. It's really very cool to watch this big thing move. We did move down to the promenade deck to get a better look at the glacier, and please forgive the people walking in front of the camera and my adjustments. We are by the exhaust of the galley, um, and it's actually warm under there, so where I'm just chilling with Weezy, and we're just watching this glacier go by. So please enjoy. This particular glacier has been around for eons, and I did not catch a calving. We did not see any calving. Remember, this is mid-September, so it's pretty darn cold. And yeah, a lot of people do stand in front of the camera. They just don't see you there. So, and this camera was literally set on a tripod and pointed at it. So, there's not much you can do. So again, the captain did pause the ship, and now he's going to spin the ship the alternate direction. He's going to go port side. They do talk over the intercom system and the loudspeakers. And if you turn on the speakers in your room, you can hear it in your room if you have a balcony cabin. They do have rangers from Glacier Bay National Park aboard the ship. They board as we come into Glacier Bay, and they tell you what you're seeing. They also tell you what is about to happen. So if you're one of those people that like to see the technical side of things, especially on such an amazing piece of machinery as a cruise ship, um, it gives you ample time to go up and down the stairs so you can see what's going on, or pick your deck. I only knew that the promenade deck would be a good place to view the glaciers because when I went and had my pedicure done, the crew member who did my pedicure gave me a little tip. So there's my little freebie tip for you. So let's talk a little bit about Glacier Bay and Alaska. Not all cruise ships get into Glacier Bay. And if this is your first and potentially only time cruising to Alaska, you really want to try to get an itinerary that includes Glacier Bay. There are two cruise lines that have been sailing Alaska for years and years and years, I think 40 plus years. The two cruise lines are owned by Carnival Corporation. One is Princess and the other is Holland America. These ships aren't for everybody. Princess and Holland America usually cater to people 55 and older, but they have a tendency to have the better itinerary. Do I recommend getting a balcony cabin? Yes and no. It really, really depends on, how much you think you're going to need the balcony, when you're sailing, all of those things. So, uh, keep that in mind when you're working with an advisor to book a cruise. There are certain things that you need to figure out what is best for you. These trips are an investment. I mean, even a simple trip to Six Flags can be an investment. So you wouldn't buy a house without a realtor. Don't go on a vacation without a travel agent. So we're back to normal speed again. This is how slow the ship is moving. It's pretty much at a standstill. The captain is doing this to give everybody on either side of the ship ample time to take pictures, for the crew to take pictures of some of the guests aboard. Um, it's really a beautiful area. It's very serene. You definitely want layers if you're going to do Glacier Bay. If you're going to do Alaska, period, you want layers on. Make sure you're wearing good shoes too. That's not going to get your socks wet. Uh, these are little things that you don't know until you sail. I know better. We're going to do Alaska again. I think this time in May of next year, which would be 2023. Since I've done Glacier Bay, we're probably going to go with a fun ship. So we're looking at Royal Caribbean Ovation of the Seas, and I will let you know how that goes. Also, you see crew members with what looks like broom handles in their hands. Those are squeegees. The deck is very, very, very wet. So you want, when I mention shoes, you want good waterproof shoes that are non-slips. So if you can get a pair of ducks, get a pair of ducks. I've sped up the footage again. You'll notice that we're turning back towards the glacier again, and people are ravenous about getting pictures of the glacier. So you're going to see folks walk in front of the camera again. Otherwise, we had had the deck to ourselves for about 15 minutes, which was super nice. There wasn't a whole bunch of people around. I am back against the glass. So they're just kind of walking in front of me, but it's okay. I got some pretty good shots of that glacier. We've stalled again, again to give people on either side of the ship time to take photographs and do what they want to do or record. Um, Glacier Bay is where a balcony stateroom would come in handy. Um, you wouldn't have to deal with other people walking in front of you, uh, like this. But um, it's a lot of money. There's like $1,000 difference a lot of the time, depending on when you book your cruise. So make sure that you do your research and decide whether or not that investment is for you. I don't recommend an ocean view stateroom. Um, and as a matter of fact, I believe I mentioned before in a previous video that the Majestic Princess doesn't have ocean view staterooms. They only have interior balconies and suites. And suites are, woo, those are spendy. But there's a lot of perks coming in on suites. Also, there is something that Princess has, which is called Princess Plus, and that is everything included. That's your Wi-Fi, that's your drinks package, um, that's your gratuities that you want to prepay. That there's just so much involved. Was it worth it for us? Absolutely. Was it worth sailing on a medallion class ship? Absolutely. That app is amazing. It works. Your medallions and the app work a lot like magic bands at Walt Disney World does, if I have any Disney World folks. Um, the medallion class, you can sit anywhere on the ship or stand anywhere on the ship and order something and it will be brought to you. They locate you via your medallion. So super cool thing to have. It's also what you get on and off the ship with, kind of like how you open your door at Walt Disney World or get into the parks. So, would I recommend sailing Princess? Absolutely. Sure. It is not for me, simply because there wasn't enough for me to do on the ship. The food was great, everything was great. I just need a ship that's a little bit more fun. My speed is Disney, and I hope Royal Caribbean. Pretty cool, right? Kind of funny sped up. So that's an eagle. And that gentleman that carved it, he's not actually the ice carver, he's an apprentice. Well, that was one long video and you made it this far. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, contact me at tricircletravel@gmail.com. I'm Nikki, your host and advisor, and I'll see you real soon.